State your name.
Louise Harrison.
Louise Harrison. We're in Walnut Ridge, and we're at the Highway 67 celebration. Are you enjoying it so far?
Oh, yes. Well, I came last year as well, and it was wonderful.
Okay. Was this your first time last year in Walnut Ridge?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Now, I understand, first of all, thank you so much for agreeing to the interview. I'll be really brief. It won't be a long interview.
That's okay. I can
Okay.
talk for hours if you want.
Okay. Okay, well, I can listen for hours.
Sometimes the band can't shut me up.
Well, why would they want to do that, right?
Because they're always afraid of what I'm going to say next.
Well, that's okay. You know, the truth
You know,
is okay.
we Harrisons are a little forthright at times.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You can be a member of my family. Okay. You started a program after the death of your brother. Is that correct? For music appreciation.
Well, that's only just started this last year.
It just started this
Yes,
year. Okay.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically the major idea behind it is, of course, to focus on the fact that music and arts are very, very important in a child's education. And, you know, many studies have been done showing that when the part of the brain that, the creative part of the brain is being stimulated with music and arts, it makes it much more easy for a child or a student to be able to learn things like math and science. So it's very, very important to keep music and arts in the school's teaching system. And unfortunately, right now, there's a lot of very, very misguided people who are saying, okay, we don't need public education and we don't need this and we don't need that, let's eliminate them because they're costing money, forgetting that it's very, very important to, to educate our children. And also it's important to keep those programs into education that are going to stimulate the child to be able to learn more. So that's partly, why we're focusing on this and trying to make sure that the music programs and the arts programs are kept in the school curriculum. So by giving concerts, we offer to give concerts at high schools and include the music students at the school in our show. They learn the music that we play, like in the second part of the show that's just starting outside now.
Okay.
And they come on stage with us, and we've had as many as 150 students standing on risers at the back with their violins and their trumpets and their tubas and everything, and playing along with us. So and then we're able to give a little portion of the proceeds to help the music department.
Right.
So that's the program. It's called Louise Harrison's Help Keep Music Alive. Okay, now the title of it came from a public service announcement that George did back in the 90s.
Okay.
Now, in his life, he only ever did the one public service announcement, and that was in conjunction with the movie Mr. Holland's Opus.
Okay.
Remember that?
I remember that movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in his little clip, in the little PSA, he says, we've got to help keep music alive. And he said, after all, look what music did for me. And so I was able to talk to the people, the Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation, and they gave me permission to use a part of that clip for our website, for Help Keep Music Alive's website. So that was very, very kind of them. So, we're just in our early formative years, if you might call it that way. We're like a child learning how to walk and, to fall down and get back up again. We're in that stage of the process. And, hopefully soon we'll be able to walk without falling over all the time and get this program off the ground. Well, with the help of people like your part of the media and, getting the word out to the public and have people get in touch with us, it would be much, much easier to be able to do this program if we have music directors from high schools get in touch with us, rather than for us to try to go all over the country searching for a music director who has an auditorium that's going to have a free night that we could play, So from that point of view, the more help I can get from the media, the easier it's going to be for us to put this program into operation and make it successful and make it operate smoothly. So, any time that I can get an opportunity to speak to the public like this, I will certainly take it. And I'd like to tell you, too, the website that I have, I'm just using the initials of my name, okay, Louise Harrison's Help Keep Music Alive. So instead of somebody typing that whole thing in, I've got a website that is just LH-HKMA.org. And so that makes it much easier, you know. So if you have a website and you can put that on, I think it's on the card I gave you too. And then people can get in touch with us. And we do have a place on our website where people can sign in their information and, you know, the name of a music director and the school and the phone number and so on, so that we can contact people and get the program, you know, working more smoothly.
That's great.
Mhm.
I took music when I was starting junior high school. I'm from D.C.
Mhm.
And at the time, I graduated high school in '75.
Mhm.
They had a really, really strong music program,
Yeah.
and anyone could become involved in it. It
Yes.
wasn't we were going to have music at one school and everyone else. And I have to say, I really did benefit from that for a lot of reasons.
Yes.
I mean, the discipline for one, you know,
Yes.
and you something to look forward to, you know, for us music
Yeah.
studies. So.
Well, can you imagine what a dreary world it would be if we didn't have music? And, you know, like the people that come to our shows to see these Beatles shows, you know, they walk out and they're glowing and they're you know, they feel like they're 16 again if they're older than 16. And it's just really wonderful to, you know, to be able to be doing something that brings happiness into people's lives, especially in these very hard economic times. Because let's face it, we're all struggling, you know, myself included, to make ends meet. And so if we can bring a little joy and happiness into people's lives, then why not do it, you know?
Yeah. That's really great. We really appreciate what you're doing. Now, you've done music in the school in Walnut Ridge before, or
not in a school. We did one down in Arkansas, something Delphia. Arkadelphia. Yeah.
Okay.
At the school there. I think
Okay.
it was a Baptist college.
Okay, I think there is a school there. Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Right.
It's hard for me to remember.
That's
you know.
okay. I can't remember. That's okay.
Yeah. And you know, when you're dashing, like this week, for instance, I was in Philadelphia for the
Okay.
first half of the week. So, you know, I never know for sure exactly where I am, except when I look at the street signs. You know.
Right. Well, we're gonna definitely pass this information along.
Okay.
I work at KASU, which is owned by Arkansas State University. They have an excellent music program, and they always have statewide band competitions in high school, junior high school.
Yeah.
Have excellent programs. So definitely
Good.
interested in this.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. We'd be happy to do a show there.
Okay.
Actually, we don't charge. You know, we don't say that you've got to pay us X amount of money, but we do encourage the school to, you know, to have their own ticketing system, and to, you know, to actively get involved in ticket sales, so that we make sure that we pay all of our costs to get there, and then basically, you know, whatever's left over, we're able to, you know, give something to the schools as well. And it's not just a matter really of so much of raising funds as raising awareness, and also having, you know, the whole faculty in the school and all of the students have a really, really good time. And they learn a tremendous amount from the students that help with the show, because not only do the musical students come on stage and play with us, but we also have students helping with the lighting and the sound and, you know, the stage management, you know, getting the amplifiers in place and things like that. And some of the students do some of the ushering, you know, so it's a really whole life experience for them to, you know, how do you put on a show?
Exactly.
And, yeah.
People think, oh, it's a piece of cake.
Yeah, and they
Wow.
realize how much goes, you know, how tremendous amount of work that goes in, you know. So.
Okay. And how did you the Beatles band? How did that come about as far as touring and getting
The
people
Beatle
together?
band?
Mhm.
Well, you know, back in, I guess it was about a year or so after my brother died, I had met the guy who plays George in this band just shortly after my brother died, actually. And I've always felt that, you know, wherever George's being is now, that after he left, that he kind of looked around the planet and said, oh, now here's a George that will make a good brother for her now that I've gone.
Okay.
And so this guy who's here tonight, I guess you probably met him, Marty, he became my new brother, and so he's made sure that he's kind of taking care of me. And so we decided, okay, you know, rather than leave me to get into mischief doing nothing,
I can't imagine that.
me getting into mischief. So we decided, okay, let's put together a really, really excellent Beatle band, because, you know, I couldn't put my name on it
Okay.
and, you know, risk the family, you know, wherever my mum and dad are getting mad at me.
Okay.
Hello, what do you do that for? So, I had to make sure that I had the kind of guys and the kind of show that would bring credit to my family. Otherwise I couldn't have had my name involved in it in any way. So I think from all of the reactions that we've had wherever we've gone, everybody has been, I've been told many, many times by people that go to Broadway shows and go to Vegas all the time, and they will come to me after our show and they'll say, "This is the best show I've ever seen." So I know we must be doing something right.
You are. And I was teasing, talking to a lady in the audience, and I'm looking around and watching. I was saying it's something when the guys are mouthing the lyrics. When I think Beatles, I always think of something that the girls are really into, but the guys just mouthing the lyrics.
Everybody knows.
It appeals to me, but it did.
Yeah. Well, we have people in our audiences when we've been in the theatre for quite a long while, and people in the audience, everything from, and I suppose in this audience here tonight too, everything from people in their mid to late 80s to people that are 18 months old, sitting on their dad's shoulders, and even the little kids, maybe from 5 years old on, seem to know all the words of the songs. And everybody goes bouncing out of the show, with a kind of lightness in their step and their eyes shining, so it's really a wonderful, wonderful thing to be involved in, So.
Well, I have to say, I've really enjoyed myself just listening. We really appreciate what you're doing with your music program and, keeping the music alive.
Yes, exactly.
Really appreciate that.
Yeah, and it was wonderful tonight to have Carl Perkins' son Stan here with us, because my brother was such a big admirer of Carl Perkins. In fact, the very first time George ever went on a little tour, he took the name of Carl. He called himself Carl Harrison. Yes,
really?
yes.
Okay.
So it's really wonderful to be with a member of the Perkins family tonight.
Well, this whole entire weekend, the Rock and Roll Highway 67 has been really phenomenal.
Yes.
I guess you have seen the little display with all the...
Yes. Well, we were here last year too.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Charlie that works, runs it. Yes.
Right.
I mean, my goodness, they work so hard, and all of the people here, they're just, they're so welcoming and wonderful. Well, tonight I didn't even realize that the show started as early as it did. And I've had such a hectic week being in Philadelphia doing media that I had been up yesterday from 4 o'clock in the morning till after midnight, and I was really beat when I got here. And so I said, I need to have a little bit of a nap. And I didn't realize that the show started at 4 o'clock. I had no idea.
Okay. All right.
But one of the volunteers that works with this, I don't know if she's a volunteer, part of the committee, but she took me over to her home and let me have a rest and let me take a shower, and so that's why I'm clean now.
Okay. Well, people in Arkansas are really, really nice. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, well, I love Arkansas, of course. I love your former governor anyway, Bill Clinton.
Oh, okay.
I was invited to the opening of his museum, not his museum, his library.
Okay.
Yeah, when they opened the library, I was invited with my grandson to that. So, yeah.
Well, that's great. Was there anything else you'd like to tell us about, just anything in general, or final
Well,
words?
maybe I just, if it's okay to say to your listeners to be, when November comes up, to think very carefully about how you use your vote, and to think about things like love and peace and the people who are actually trying to promote that.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate this.
Okay, thank you.
I really, and thank you for putting me at